In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use symbols that you already have in Illustrator and export these symbols and import them into Animate so you can use these symbols. So one of the reasons why you might want to do that is because you have quite a bit of graphics to draw and you don't have time to draw all of them, or maybe you don't like drawing in Animate, or perhaps you don't have very strong drawing skills in Animate and you just want your animation to look good and you don't want to draw and animate. So if that's the case, you can go into Illustrator, open up a file. It doesn't matter what size. Go to Window and open up Symbols. So here we have symbols. So you have some default symbols here. I'd like you to go to this menu here and go to Open Symbol Library. So it depends on, what symbols you're looking for, what drawings you're looking for. So if I go to nature here, I'm looking for a butterfly. So I'm gonna click and drag a butterfly. So instead of drawing a butterfly in Animate, which might take a few hours to do so, I'm just gonna use the one that's already there in Illustrator. Then I'm going to click on it and go File, Export, Export As, and call it butterfly. And I'm going to make sure that I have this checked, preserve appearance, and go to OK. And now in Animate, I'm going to File, Import, Import to Library, the butterfly. Oh, make sure that you had saved it as a Swift file. I did that really quickly. So when you go to, in Illustrator, if you go to File, Export As, make sure that you export as a Swift file, SWF Swift file. Okay, and the reason is because then it ends up as a Swift file, which means you can still edit the color of the butterfly. You can edit the shape of it and things like that. It is drawn in vector if you save it as a Swift file as opposed to a JPEG. Anyway, so in Animate, you will go to File, Import, Import to Library, and go look for the butterfly. And here we have a butterfly Swift. So when I click on it, it looks a bit strange. So I'm going to click and drag it onto the stage here. It looks a bit strange. This black isn't quite like what I have here. So some things got a little bit messed around when I exported and imported it. But that's okay. I can go inside of the butterfly symbol. You can see that it's already a graphic symbol by default. So I can double click inside of it and maybe right click on this and perhaps arrange, move, send to back. There we go. So I'm going to click on this big black thing here and arrange, send to back. There we go. So now that looks about right. Let me see. Yeah, that looks about right. So I'm all good now. So I'm going to go back to scene one. And here I have my butterfly without having to draw it. So okay, I can have multiple butterflies if my animation calls for butterflies and so on. So what if I wanted something that was not actually in Illustrator? If I can't find that symbol in Illustrator, then perhaps you can just draw it here in Animate and make that into a graphic, or you can maybe look for it on Google Images. Let's say I wanted to have a cloud, but I'm not really good at drawing and I don't want to draw a cloud, so I can go to Cloud in Google Images and go under Drawing. Okay, so here I have a nice cloud here. I'm quite happy with this one. I'm going to save image as, okay, and save that into my here and call it in art next to my butterfly. I'm gonna save it as a GIF or a JPEG, whatever my options are. And then in Animate, I can File, Import to Library. I can import the cloud. And here's my cloud GIF. Okay, oh, it's very big, so I'm just going to, or perhaps it's not very big. Oh, I'm in the, there we go. Oh, okay, so there's my butterfly here. Maybe make this butterfly a bit bigger. Anyways, so make that a regular size. Okay, so let's go back to cloud and drag that onto the stage. There we go. So there's cloud, but it is a JPEG. So if I double click inside it, or a GIF, so it's a bitmap. So it's not a vector like, you know, like the butterfly where I can even change colors or change the shape of it. The cloud, I cannot do that. So I would like to be able to do that. So to make this into a vector art or, you know, a shape like the butterfly is, I click on it and I go to modify and I go bitmap and I go trace bitmap. Okay, and then I go okay. And now this is a bitmap. Okay, so this is a background. I can delete it. So I click on that, that's selected, I delete it. So this here is now a shape. So I'm gonna select everything by, I can double click on it or I can just click and drag a rectangle around it. I right click and I go to convert symbol and I'm gonna make this a cloud graphic symbol. There we go. And now because it's a symbol and a shape, I can change the color of it. So go to properties here. So the fill, I'm going to make it, you know, whatever color I like to. I can make it blue or a different shade of blue. Here we go. And there we have it. I could even add on the outside. Go double click on that and change maybe the style of my cloud, of my stroke. Okay, and then after that I can get out of there, get outside of this cloud symbol, and here we have it. Okay, and I'm just gonna show my timeline here. Oh, so two things are on the same timeline. I'm gonna move my cloud to a different timeline. Control X. Okay, so here we go. Layer 2. I'm going to paste my cloud, or actually move the cloud back there. And this is how you can have symbols and artwork in your Animate without even having to draw anything. So two ways: you can find a symbol in Illustrator, or you can go to Google Images, find a drawing there, and then, you know, import it into Animate and make that into a shape, and then make that into a symbol.